Well, hello there, everyone. We're back again for the Stone Circle tournament, round 3 now. Probably wondering where round 2 is. The exact same I was wondering when I went to stop recording the match and realised I hadn't started in the first place, so dubbed me. We played Jackie in round 2 and took the match 3-0. Massive roster difference though, so it was kind of unfair on Jackie. So now we've got Pepe in round 3, so this should be, well, spoiler, this turns out to be a much more intense match. So, starting off round 1, I decided to go with Okoye, Shathra and Tigra, but I do change this because a certain champ started being an absolute nightmare for me, which I didn't think they'd be too bad because of a few champs I had, but I forgot one very important part of her kit. So, we're starting off, Thanos, Mantis, Weapon X, he's got Photon, Juggy, Onslaught and Jack. Not too bad at the moment, Mantis for Photon. Onslaught could be annoying because I want to put Thanos on defense. We pick up Null and Red Skull. Red Skull's actually a really nice defender this meta, as long as they don't have Kashala because of how much increased power gain he gets. Because this is now in the week 3-4 meta, the one with Bleed and Shock, Stun Reflect, and they get Energize every time they get a buff. So, Pepe picks up his Yelena, cough cough, I hate that champ so much, and Titania, and I get my Photon, and then I'm deciding between a few options, just looking at what he has, and then I eventually go for... Come on, lock it in. There we go. We eventually go for Onslaught, just because big bulky defender. Last pick, he gets some pretty nice choices. Low Sig Nick, which I'm waiting to get mine to High Sig before I rank 3. But he does actually reroll this. Rerolls are infinite in this tourney, so it doesn't matter how many times he rerolls. And he gets Dust, which is quite annoying, to be honest. I don't really have a great counter for Dust here. So starting off, I go with my Null, just hoping that he has either a slow fight or Null throws a random SB1 or, just something happens. But he goes with Dust, and I make a bit of a mistake here. I went with Red Skull thinking that this would be faster than it ended up being. And it's annoying because Red Skull would have been one of my better defenders against this draft. And he goes with his Photon because I have Mantis, which is fair. Obviously, with hindsight, I should have gone Mantis, but then he could have placed his Photon and ruined me in round 2. So this fight is literally just spam SB1s as much as possible because Dust is shock immune. Also bleed immune, so she's quite nice for this node set. Get a quick little backdraft intercept on me, thank you, Dust. But it didn't take much health, we're still at 96%, so we're kind of chilling. But yeah, this is it's not an insanely slow fight, but it's not a great fight. It was just too slow in hindsight. Should have just saved Red Skull and gone with Mantis. Hoped for a good fight, but it would have been a throw around anyway. So yeah, we're just doing some backdrafts. Keep spamming the Relic and the SB1 just to try and get it down as fast as possible. This isn't terrible. Like, this is a matchup that can work in a pinch, but yeah, it's just not fun. I started using the power drain on block so that I didn't have to bait specials. And to get a bit of extra damage in, just because it does do some quite nice damage when you're at high stacks. Like that 11k, 9.5k. That's some quite nice extra damage. And then we finish her off. But we got out the match, and yeah, he was way faster. Null was not the go. But it seemed okay at this point. I wasn't like massively worried. I still had some good defenders, some good attackers. But then, this is where the absolute menace comes out to play. So Yelena comes out and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. Let me throw down Thanos, which will just take some time. And let me go in with Weapon X because I'll get the bleed, I'll get the enrage, I'll get the fury for her hitting me. We'll absolutely rinse through her. Then I remembered a line of her kit after these two matches that unless you have her daunted, you cannot increase your attack against Yelena. Why? Because Kabam said so. So this matchup essentially was just a bad play from me. I should have gone Onslaught and daunted her, but yeah, she is a really nasty defender, especially when you can't stun her. So at the start, it's not going too terribly here. I get my Enrage up. We're looking good. She throws an SB1, which isn't ideal because I can't get the extra Fury. I also had no idea how to dex her specials, so slight whoops from me. I thought it ended there. And this is where it starts going a bit of a yikes. You know, it's not going terrible. Like, I am dealing good bleed damage, but then, yeah, she combos me, she parries me, she combos me again, and then she SB3s me. So at this point, I knew this was lost. But, yeah, it's just, she's a really nasty defender if you don't have a great counter. So yeah, then I get an SB2 off and finish her off. But Juggy did better. He didn't have a great fight, but Juggy did do better than that. So round 1, we're 1-0 down. I was also very tilted at this point. For anyone who hasn't seen, I'm currently in C6. Don't ask me how that happened. It's called bad drafts and some questionable AI and parrying, which you'll have seen on the stream against Garbo. There was some very questionable parrying. But anyway, we start again. Juggy and Onslaught, which is good, and he gets that Yelena again after she absolutely cooked me. Yeah, so we reply with... I actually brought my new crossbones in for this. I've used him a couple times so far. I think I've won every round I've used him, but he is that type of champ that you use to completely nuke and take a round. So it's not that surprising. I pick up Dazzler because I wanted to try Dazzler for Yelena because I still didn't... At this point, I still hadn't realised the damage cap thing, which is why I didn't use Onslaught, even though he was sitting right there. So we take Dazzler and Mantis as an extra nice champ for Photon. Because Crossbones, I can use him for a few other matchups. And then for my last pick, I take Warlock because I saw that Weapon X could be pretty annoying on defense. Which is actually a really good pick because he did end up playing Weapon X down eventually. But yeah, he starts off with Yelena, my best friend. So I didn't really know what to do at this point because I wasn't sure, like, how well it would go. So I decided to, like, essentially throw this round. I put down Crossbones, sorry, which he replies to with Kashala because I just wanted to get some practice on Yelena without using one of my good defenders, because essentially my only good defenders this round are Onslaught and Photon. So I can't really sacrifice one of them when I don't know what I'm doing against this champion. So yeah, he goes with Kashala, I go with Dazzler, not wanting to waste Onslaught. And yeah, this match also goes horrifically. This is... It's so obvious I had no idea what I was doing against this champ, but even still, she is really nasty on this node set. Like, I think even still I would lose, even if I 100% knew what I was doing. But I decided this match I'm going to use the Falter quite a bit to my advantage to get me some openings after her specials, because she does a decent bit of block damage on the specials. Let's see, do I use it again here? No, I just went for the normal punish there. And yeah, like, that block damage from a 6-star is kind of crazy. That was like a good 10% of block damage from a 6-star. So yeah, we're building up, and we throw the SB2, and I was so confused here as to why that didn't absolutely annihilate her, but obviously the damage cap, which is great fun. It makes perfect sense. Let's have a champ who you can't damage unless you have one of these debuffs that barely ever exists. Makes perfect sense, come on. So I took another SB2 off, just hoping it'll get close. It did get kind of close, but no, this is where it goes downhill. She's at 150 combo. And, well, you're about to start seeing some fun and interactive damage. Reversal. Another reversal. I did a double medium, didn't get any reversals, which was nice. Nearly dodged the full special. Reversal on my falter, and then reversal again. So, yeah, I'll be honest. I still haven't looked into this champ. I have no idea how she's doing that. I know it's something to do with her combo, hitting 150, because I noticed that's when she got the little, like, red icon for reversals, but, yeah, I have no idea. But we wouldn't have won anyway, 52k with Kashala, so I was okay with that. Okay, so round 2, I chucked down Photon, hoping that he would not chuck down Onslaught, which he didn't. He chucked down Warlock, which is quite good. He chucked down Weapon X, which was quite good because I could use Warlock. And this fight was actually slower than I thought it would be because I could not get some good timing on the armor break going up in like the periods of downtime. But also because when the immunity comes back up, it strips your current armor breaks, which is sad. So this is kind of slow, but it did the job. Like, it's still Warlock against a champ with a lot of healing, so like you're gonna be doing well. Like he's already a third down, and we haven't even done anything yet. Sent him to his Enrage, and straight away I popped my relic just so I wouldn't get punished. See though, that SB2 we just didn't have the armor break up, which is sad. So now I'm just mashing into him with combos while he's being aggressive. Just wanting to get back to another SB2 and to kill him off. I thought he was going to throw a special there, but we get another intercept off and then just close it out. Easy enough fight. A bit slower because of the immunity now, but it did the job. And now we have a mirror match in the final round. So yeah, he actually didn't have an amazing fight with Starkey here. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I couldn't have like not used Warlock here, so it didn't faze me that much. But yeah, probably just Photon AI being annoying because AI at the moment is horrendous. Absolutely horrific. Game is not in a good place, I'll be real. But anyway, we go into the final round. And as expected, we both throw down them big onslaughts. And now it is just a race against time. So we have the exact same Sig, Onslaught, and Juggernaut, which I find quite funny. But anyway, we go into this fight, and honestly, I don't think I played this fight bad, but I just got a bit unlucky, I'd say. So yeah, there we did get countered, but it didn't matter. It did what I wanted, actually, because you need to get rid of your combo at one point. So I go straight into the SB2. We get one crit, which is okay, I guess. So now I'm just waiting for that SB2 to come out. Come on. He pushes me back essentially the whole map, but he does eventually throw it. So I build up to 19 here, dash back, let him hit me to get rid of his combo. Get rid of my combo, sorry, so he doesn't crush me. Throw a few more hits, relic, and I was going for the kill here. Full combo, SB2, and we get no crits. And he throws it straight away. So, yeah, this is a loss. I think even if I had a full crit there, I would have just about lost because he had a really good fight. But yeah, that was just really annoying. 1 crit out of 6 on the SB2s. I can't predict that. So we get the SB2 off, get the kill. But yeah, he had a nice fight. I think it would have been pretty close. I think I would have just about lost. But yeah, we are now 2-0 down, and it is first to 3, so I was really not feeling it at this point, especially because of how tilted I was. This was, like, worst case scenario. I thought I was going to get 3-0'd. But I do change up my bans. I stick with the first 2, but then I let Okoye free and get rid of Yelena, purely because I have Okoye myself, but only as a 6-star, so at least I could use the champion. And I was just hoping it would work because Yelena was doing too much to me. So we start off, Photon, Onslaught, Juggernaut. Pretty good start. And like clockwork, he gets that Okoye straight away, which at this point I was like, this is not good at all. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I re-roll this. Or do I re-roll the next one? Maybe I'll do the next one, yeah, because I think, Kushala and Killmonger. Killmonger, actually not too bad of a defender this meta. And Kushala obviously being a ridiculous attacker. Now he gets another set of strong picks. His drafts was pretty strong all throughout this match, but towards the end I started changing a little bit and going more counter heavy than good champ heavy. So he gets Black Hat and Weapon X, and my last pick, I'm looking at it and I'm like, this isn't it. This will not do anything. So I swap and I get a perfect double. Mantis for Photon and Weapon X for Bullseye. Perfect double. Literally couldn't have asked for any more. So now he was looking at that and was probably a bit annoyed because of the perfect last draft, and he actually rerolls himself, which did scare me, but he rerolled into Starkey, which was fine. I didn't really mind that. So starting off, and I go with Killmonger to start because I noticed the only good champ he has for that really is Black Hat, which I think for most of the defenders that were on the board I could outpace. He throws down his Weapon X, and I look at who I've got and decide Juggy is the way here. He throws down Black Cat, so now we have essentially just got to out-nuke him. So my plan for this match was build him to his SB1, let him go berserk, let the berserk fall off, and then completely rip through him while he has no healing. Because when his berserk falls off, Weapon X, well, he can get healing buffs, but they are very small. So I get some pretty nice dexes against the wall. I thought I was going to get hit there, to be honest, but we move, and big SB2. We get a crit at the end, which was nice. He throws his SB2 straight away, which is even nicer, and SB1 crits dead. Unbeatable, 52k, we take that. And now I'm looking at this match, and I'm feeling pretty nice. Weapon X for Bullseye, Kushala for Red Skull, Mantis for Photon. If he places a Okoye or Starkey, that's a bit weird. So yeah, I'm feeling quite good about this. I know that his Okoye will nuke Photon, but I know that Onslaught, his only real counter is Photon, so I knew that I had at least one decent defender here. I wasn't sure how fast Okoye would nuke my Photon. But yeah, he has to place first, and he goes with Red Skull, which is Kushala for me. But I wasn't sure how well I'd do this fight, so I threw my slightly weaker defender down in Photon to leave a stronger Onslaught in the final round with me using Weapon X or Mantis. So he goes with Okoye, I go with Kushala. And this was also a pretty nice fight, especially because of you need to watch at the start of how much power Kushala starts with. Fight starts, boom, already at a bar. And I'm like, whoa, that's quite nice. Already at like 3 bars essentially. So I throw my special. I get lucky with a passive, only having two spells, get a parry spell up, and now I just wait this out. He's already ticking down. He's at halfway already. And now I quickly get back to my SB2 and pause that Soul Barb. Get a bit of extra damage, get another Soul Barb up, and yeah, he's dead. Kushala, meta is absolutely insane against the right matchup. So that was, what was that? A bit of health loss, but 37 seconds against Red Skull, which is incredibly fast. Probably the fastest you can do in this meta. As in, like, the fastest champion, because Thanos is a bit tricky because you can't just parry. You can't just heavy stun, sorry. He messes up a little bit with the Koye, so I take the win straight away there, and it's now 2-1. So I'm still not feeling great, but at least I got myself on the board. So going into round 4, I stick with the same bands. I think he's also been sticking with the same bands for the whole way through. So he starts with Onslaught. I go with Kushala again after that Demolition, and I take Rintra. Rintra's quite nice this meta because Silk is out. Who else is out? You can't just parry heavy him, so that's quite nice. Yeah, he's just generally tanky, especially with Silk gone. He gets Black Cat though, which is a good Rintra counter. So I go with Onslaught and Mantis, just predicting the future Photon. But Mantis can be used for a lot of other matchups as well. So here I go with my Weapon X. And I also go with my best buddy, who has turned out to be my favourite champion of, like, this meta so far. Future Ant-Man, the GOAT himself. He has been so clutch for me this meta. He can do rank 4 Photon for over 50k if you get the rotation right. Any Dust is a 30-second fight, just completely shreds her. He's such a great champion for this meta. So, final pick for him, he gets his Thanos. I do have Kushala, but I still get why he's gone for it. Because, you know, there's only so fast you can do Thanos. And he picks his Weapon X as well. So, very last pick here. Yeah, and he realises this draft wasn't that great for him. Which is unfortunate, but hey, that's how this game goes sometimes. And I pick in theory, I could have gone Maestro for a really good defender, but I go with a Koye here. A, for bullseye, and B, so I can stick my rank 4 Weapon X on defense. And my plan was to split him with his Jack between Weapon X and Onslaught. Because obviously he only has one Jack, and they are two champs that Jack would be his best counter here. So I start off Onslaught down straight away. And I'm essentially seeing, does he use his Jack here, or does he pretty much throw the round? He could use Mantis, which, yeah, he does end up doing, which Mantis is, like, fine, but it can very easily go wrong, especially with Onslaught's goofy AI. So, Future Ant-Man is in for me, and I don't think this fight was too insane, actually. Yeah, I think I slightly messed this up, but yeah. We get some really nice intercepts at the start, straight up to 10 without even doing anything. Power draining back below a bar, hit him with the SB1 to power drain him again. He throws that, and essentially for his entire phase here, I'm just going to hit him through the Berserk to get up to my SB2, let him power drain down, because the extra disintegration damage, he won't be healing because it's red damage. So, like, he is slowly going down. Here I get to an SB2, chuck it into him straight away. It also, like, finishes his Berserk, so that's quite nice. So now I just have to combo him down. Which, yeah, luckily he does play into me. I just need to get an intercept at the end, which was slightly slow, but hey, it's fine. Full health, less than a minute, just over 50k, and he did get wrecked with Mantis, so that's fine by me. Could have been faster, but, you know, things happen. So, we've got one round, but he didn't use his Jack, which did annoy me a bit, because now Weapon X is Jack food. and Rintrah is black cat food. So my defenders here are kind of eh. So I go with Rintrah to start off. And at this point, he puts down the Thanos, so I'm like, okay, we need to win this round now. Go in with my Kushala. He goes with Black Cat as expected, and this is another nuke race, which I go into quite a few of these with Pepe, which I don't know, just how the draft goes. You know, you need to win them rounds sometimes, otherwise you know you're screwed in round 3. Fight starts off, he doesn't want to intercept the start, but he plays nice just after. SB1, I go in, parry and heavy to get my spells up. SB1 straight away to get some incinerates off. Probably shouldn't have done that, to be honest. I probably should have gone for SB2, but oh well. Keep getting some insets off. Throw the SB1 into his protection, which wasn't like incredible play, but it's fine. Get another SB1 off just to knock the immunity off, and then I relicked into that on purpose so that I would get some free healing. So I'm back to full health here. Yep, get another knockdown, and I've still got a lot of incinerates on him. He ticks out, pretty much full health, 1 minute 4, and he is not out of the fight, so we take that. We do indeed take that. So now it's 2-2. I've somehow pulled it back to here. But obviously, 1 round to go, I could still easily throw it away. So I stick with the same bands because getting rid of Yelena was pretty effective for me. And I think he switches it up here. Yeah, he does. He gets rid of my Weapon Axe because it was being... Even though I didn't use him much, it was too annoying of a risk factor, which I get. We both pop up the the love emotes because we know this is the final round and this has been an intense match. So I start with Kushala because she's been my MVP for this matchup. He gets Photon and Nick, and I get Mantis straight away for that Photon, so I'm already at a decent advantage here. Pick up my Goat as well, but he gets Okoye straight back in, and Okoye this meta is stupid. She can literally nuke anything that bleeds or shocks, especially at rank 4, in 40 seconds or less. It's pretty disgusting, to be honest. But he picks Future Ant-Man up as well, which I didn't want him to do, actually, because he is quite annoying on defense, especially when you can't parry with Thanos to get the heavy off. But I go with Zola for the first time and Venom for the first time. Venom was my other rank up for this matter, because I finally got the 6-star Venom relic. It only took me... How long has that been out now? Over 2 years? Probably. Good game. And then my final pick, I get Titania for that Rintrah, so that is no longer a defensive threat. And for the final champ, I was debating what to pick here, but looking down, I do eventually go with one of my better defenders, Mr. Killmonger here, because I noticed he's going to have a pretty annoying time with most of them champions against Killmonger. Probably the best one's Future Ant-Man, because you just keep power draining him down, but he doesn't actually use that, but I'll let you wait to see who he does use, because it shocked me how well they did for Killmonger. So, draft is finished. He gets Thanos last pick, but that's fine. I have Kushala. But yeah, I went a bit ballsy at the end here, because I put my Killmonger down. I got a bit lucky, but I feel like I deserved it. So, Killmonger down, and he goes with Future Ant-Man here. Now, I was thinking in my head, well, Venom can also do Thanos. Kushala is likely my best champ here against Future Ant-Man. Let's use Kushala here. Venom will probably come up next round against Thanos, and we just hope for that crit RNG. Especially because Kushala makes the defender fight aggressive. It should be easy to get them intercepts to get rid of his armors. So he goes with Okoye, which at first I was like, what? This is like a throw round. But when I got out of the match, I looked and I'm like, okay, Okoye is even more broken than I predicted. So starting off, and this match is just get those intercepts off, get those SB2 offs, and just melt him. Because I can't SB1 here because he reduces SB1s he reduces Incinerate by 90%, and then he gets a healing after it, which I guess would have been a buff for my Soul Barb, but like, why would I do that? Here I see he's stacking them up quite a bit though. I get a Soul Barb off, and it accidentally pushed into SB3, so I am panicking here, and I essentially go in and throw the kitchen sink at him, and he plays nice, doesn't throw that SB3 in that one opening he had. We get it finished, 51k essentially, and that is a huge round, because now I just need one more. If you'd have SB3'd me, I would have probably lost as well, because that, for a champ with a lot of debuffs versus Killmonger, that is a really good fight. So, 1-0 up in the final round. We just need one more round win, and then it's over, and we've made a pretty strong comeback here. Obviously draft dependent, but that's how this game is at the moment. So he puts Rintra down, and I know I've got to go for it here. Because round 3, he's going to put either Nick or Thanos down, and then it's on Venom RNG, and I don't want this to go to RNG. So I go with Titania. And I essentially just have to kill this faster than he can kill Zola with Titania, which is pretty decent odds. So usual Titania fight, but this is a bit slower than I wanted it to be. Rintra was just being a bit annoying. Like, he wasn't giving any stand-up intercepts. He was being really crabby with some specials. And he was spamming... It was weird. He was crabby with specials at the start, but then at the end he was throwing his SB1 like crazy. Like, oh no, that was not one where he did it. So I get to my thing again, and yeah, SB1 straight away. Not ideal. But Rintra's health pool at rank 3, Titania can nuke through, so I wasn't too fussed. He throws another one. I get some lights in, and then I go for the SB3 without Haymaker, but it's a Mystic, so we've got a good damage boost anyway. And now, heavy spam into Oblivion. I go for a full combo. Get the SB1 off, knock him down, puts him back to 0, and then I finally get a good stand-up intercept into the Relic, and I'm hoping he's not finished, and he's not finished. We take the match, 3-2, after being 2-0 down. I was pretty happy with this. I didn't show the audio that I had because I got, very, rage-induced, especially at the halfway mark, but I was I needed that. I needed that win because I was not in a good state. But yeah, we take it 3-2. We move on now to the quarterfinals to play. Opponent isn't decided, but it's either Biwi or Atta. Hopefully Atta, because I want to annihilate Atta because Atta is bad. I'm joking, Atta, I love you. But anyway, that's going to do it. Take a screenshot. 3-2 win. See you all later.